Why can't I talk? Hi, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, Internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a third take on the weekly track roundup this week. The music song suggestion segment we do on this channel where, I link a bunch of tracks that I talk about that I love or hate or feel somewhere in between about down in the description box for you guys to check out. Also down in the description box per usual is our Turntable Lab link. We get kickback from it. Whether you are using it to buy some vinyl, buy some turntable stuff, buy some whatever, buy some Bluetooth speakers, whatever it is, they got good stuff over there. They're a nice online retailer. Also, our Patreon page is linked down below. Feel free to use that to support us and get some extra bonus monthly content in the process. And YouTube Shorts page. YouTube Shorts page is linked down there too, that you are very much invited to check out. Lots of fun stuff and, short form opinions thrown up there all the time. Okay, well, worst tracks of the week. What are those? They are as follows. It's just one. It's this new Camila Cabello track. I love it. It's trash. It's bad. It's annoying. It just kind of sounds like Baby's first hyperpop with a very terrible, he obviously didn't try, Playboi Carti verse in the mix. It's not very good. It would be interesting to see Miss Cabello do an entire album of stuff like this because, this track for me is kind of a rock bottom as far as hyperpop ripoffs go. Maybe another 2, 3, 4 tracks in this vein, in this style, would be an improvement. We will just have to see. Moving on from there to the tracks that I was on the fence about more or less. You might like them more than me. They are as follows. We have one over here from Suicide Boys, new record on the way. Us v Them is the title of this new track. And it's some very kind of spooky, edgy boom bap with a bit of an ICP flair to it, which is not a bad thing. I do think the Wicked Clowns are due for a critical reassessment. I feel like if you're, kind of liking these sick, wicked, hardcore hip-hop vibes, you might also vibe with that too. And while it's not bad as far as an aura, an energy, songwriting-wise, rapping-wise, I'm not really too crazy about it. Honestly, I just feel like it's kind of another average cut from the duo. Moving on from there, Lorde has done her own version of the Talking Heads version of Take Me to the River. And, I think vocally she kind of kills it. I think she really kind of brings some great expressive vocal leads to the table. Love the way that some of those overdubs really pop in the mix as well. I think the production could have progressed and changed more over the course of the song, but I still think it's a pretty cool and faithful cover nonetheless. We also have a new one from Hobo Johnson, who has a brand new A and B side single out. This one about the metaverse, I think is actually pretty funny, a good bit of social commentary. I understand that Hobo Johnson is not going to be for everybody, but I do think he has some very tongue-in-cheek and very, humorous observations on this new track here for sure, even if it is a little grating and a little annoying on the surface. Moving on from there, we have a new one from Flyana Boss. This song is called Money At. I feel like the duo who's been kind of running TikTok for a minute now have kind of fallen into a bit of a pattern with this formula, with very kind of kooky and funny bars and cartoonish banger beats. I think it's fine. It's not really their strongest set of one-liners, or it's not their strongest production choice either, but it's passable. I feel like if you've dug their stuff up until this point, you'll probably dig on this too. We have a new one from Crumb as well, a bit of a 90s kind of dance throwback with some washed out production and vocals. It's a vibe. It's a groove. I'll say that. Never been the biggest Crumb fan, but I do think the beats here do go kind of hard. And we have a new one from Courting, who are really just kind of in their Strokes worship phase with this brand new cut over here titled Battle, which is not too bad at all. If you're looking for some indie rock across the pond, it's kind of throwing it back to the 2000s. Give this one a shot. All right, best tracks of the week. There are quite a few of those that I would like to shout out and point out, so pay attention. Here we go. Brand new one from Vampire Weekend, sounding good with another single. They're 4 for 4 with the Mary Boone. This one's a bit more of a dreamy ballad, and I'm loving the way the upright bass is playing into the mix on this one. I've been loving all the bass on these new tracks, but this track is especially, spacey and pretty and vibey with some nice embellishments and flourishes instrumentally and vocally here and there. Also digging on this new one from 21 Pilots, Next Semester. It's a bit of a meltdown anthem with some punky guitars and drums, feeling a little early Arctic Monkeys, feeling a little Killers. I'm liking it quite a bit, digging on the storytelling too and the various parts of the song. Just good, nice, structured, quality songwriting with a great performance all around, in my opinion, even if it is a little hokey and, a little corny here and there. Digging on this new one from a band I think a lot of you guys just don't know about, because this recently kind of popped into my inbox and it blew me away, floored me. I have to talk about it. This up-and-coming group called Test Plan. Walking in a Vacuum is the name of the track. And it's some of the most fiery, chaotic, insane, and thrilling experimental rock and post-punk and noise rock that I've heard since like that Sprain album that came out not too long ago. R.I.P. to Sprain. But yeah, this is fantastic. This is some fantastic stuff. If you're digging on that, if that is your vibe, you need to give this a shot for sure, for sure. All right, moving on from there. Also digging on another taste of the upcoming St. Vincent album. This one is titled Flea. It's fiery, got those crazy drums. Sounds like Dave Grohl is in the mix on this one. The riffs are insane. Annie is rocking harder than she has in years on these new tracks and is just sounding stellar, honestly. Also digging on this new Fabric mixed version of this Shygirl track that is just kind of giving us some very dark, spacey electro grooves. Making the Beast is the title of this one. I'm loving this mixed version of the track. It's very entrancing and cerebral, and I'm on it. I'm on the vibe. I'm on the wave. I'm totally into it. Moving on from there, I'm also digging on the third track from this new EP that Rico Nasty put out with Boys Noize. I haven't been crazy about a lot of what I've been hearing teased from their collaborations, but this one over here feels like a throwback piece of hip-hop, electro fusion that's really killer and really fun. The bass lines are fantastic, and Rico vocally really kind of plays into the throwback vibe of the song and the production a lot in a way that's just fun. Hot is the title of the track. Also digging a lot on this new track from Jessica Pratt, World on a String. It's just a very nice, pretty, beautiful, soulful piece of throwback singer and songwriter music. Sounds like something from the 60s or from the 70s, but with a very kind of modern, dreamy aesthetic laced into it. Also digging on this new jazz rap banger crossover between Joey Badass and IDK DENiM. A lot of great flows and quality bars and a good instrumental to boot on this one. They just have chemistry for days, these guys on this one. Also digging on this new one from Hiatus Kaiyote. I didn't like this track as much as maybe their latest single or the single previous to this one as far as like the instrumental muscle and flashiness on it, but I do think the lyrics on this one are very pretty and are kind of about this greater philosophy of finding your friends in this world as opposed to like making them per se. And I just am really excited for this upcoming LP. The material so far has been solid. All right, moving on from there, our favorite Polish jokesters are back with a brand new single titled Komputer. I'm talking about Franek and Młody Budda. Yes, it's chaotic, it's insane, it is almost undefinable genre-wise. It is one of the weirdest things you will hear this week. If you give it a listen, I guarantee it. But yes, Komputer is the name of this one. Oh, and for those who don't speak Polish, there are some lyrical translations in the music video attached to it too. Also, I cannot forget this brand new single from Galen Tipton and Death's Dynamic Shroud teaming up for a track that is called Generate Utopia. The way this piece, the way this production, the way this beat, the way these stuttering, insane vocal samples just completely melted my brain and just threw it in a blender and just spun it around so violently, and then threw in all of these high quality GIFs and JPEGs. It's just like an insane culmination of just so much futuristic and experimental electronic production, but then just crazy Y2K aesthetics just all collapsing onto each other at once for this complete eargasmic jubilee. And I will leave it there. It's an amazing, mind-bending, hell of a track that is pretty much like beyond words, beyond description. All right, shout out to Doechii, who has been underrated for years at this point, and I would say that is especially so off of the release of this brand new single, Alter Ego, which I'm just not seeing enough people talk about. There's not enough discussion of this track. Features JT of City Girls fame, who also sounds fantastic on it. But really, you know, the selling point of it is Doechii's killer and funny, like that condom slip bar right on the first leg of the track. The awesome flow she comes in with after that, the driving house beats, and that sort of Alter Ego, like that's so just party European house shit, and then the na 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 is just so ballroom. It's a fusion of numerous different hip hop, dance, music style blends kind of coming together for something that is very explosive, very aggressive, very in your face, very charismatic, very well structured, very catchy. She is just doing it, man. She's just doing it on this new track. Again, sounds fantastic. Been really digging on her stuff more and more, you know, and I feel like she kind of reached a peak that a lot of people didn't really appreciate on her last 2022 EP. But, you know, she keeps putting out stuff like this. Whatever she comes out with next, EP, album, whatever, it's going to be a banger. So pay attention, because this is fire as hell. Moving on from there. The legendary duo Broadcast have a brand new project of, like, you know, demos, unreleased stuff coming out at some point, just tracks that were recorded or put together from 2000 to 2006. We have a demo here of Tears in the Typing Pool, which, you know, if you're a weird lo-fi indie singer-songwriter fan, Mitski fan, that sort of thing, you're going to want to try this out, because this will be right up your alley, I promise you. And finally, shout out to Balaclava, which is like this weird kind of synthy egg punk rock group with a kick-ass new song, music video, and single that I'm liking the energy on quite a bit. It's titled Pills on Vacation. And yeah, it's just a kick-ass rock track that is very kind of scuzzy, very lo-fi, very weird, very left field. Again, give it a shot. And that is going to be it for the weekly track roundup, everybody. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this video. And I'll see you in the next video. Okay? Okay. Anthony Fantano, weekly tracks of forever.